Hello, I'm Tom McLeod.
And I'm Dixie McLeod. Today we will deal with the question, why do some people have trouble learning to pray?
The answer is in your question.
What do you mean the answer is in my question?
We often fail to see prayer as a learning process, something that we have to learn.
And how does that make a difference?
Well, let's compare learning to pray with learning to read.
I certainly remember learning to read. I certainly remember thinking my mom was magic because she could read the words in the letters that my grandmother sent to us. I could not wait to get to first grade where I could learn to read and come home and read to my brother. I will confess that I was disappointed when I left school on the first day and I was not able to read. I discovered then that learning to read was a process.
Then I suppose that you continued to school to learn more about reading.
Yes, but remember, I didn't learn everything that I wanted to learn on that first day of school. I gradually learned my letters, and that letters make words, and that words make sentences.
Yes, you were really reading. You were reading at your grade level and your level of understanding at the time. What other reading skills did you learn?
Well, I learned that words make sentences, and sentences can make a paragraph, and paragraphs make a story. And about the time that I started high school, I began to learn that often behind the story was a message.
Yes, you began to see beyond the letters and the words, and even beyond the story, to see the message behind it. The pieces and techniques are still there, but as we learn to see through them, they become automatic, totally necessary, but invisible.
I also learned that there were many different varieties or kinds of reading.
What do you mean, different kinds of reading?
Well, there are novels, like our beloved Mitford series, that you read just for the pleasure of their company and to soak in the story. And there are reference books, like this Bible Atlas, that you read for specific information or to learn facts. And then there are deep theological books, such as Eugene Peterson's Christ Plays in 10,000 Places. Subtitle, A Conversation in Spiritual Theology. You read that very slowly with a highlighter and notepad at the ready. But how do you connect the process of reading with the process of learning to pray?
Each type of reading is real. One is not better than another. Each is appropriate for its purpose at the time. There are memorized prayers at the beginning. This is the "Now I lay me down to sleep, the Lord is my shepherd, our Father who art in heaven" type of prayer. Then there's the prayer of just being comfortable with God, and the prayer of needing specific help. And then we have the prayer of deep, agonizing, probing thoughts with God.
Back to our first question. Why do some people have trouble learning to pray?
Much like reading, there are different kinds of prayer for different situations. Not better or worse, just different. And each time we have to fit the prayer to the circumstance. It may be a struggle to learn each new type of reading. It may also be a struggle to learn each new type of prayer.
Yes, comparing learning to pray with learning to read is very helpful. Like learning to read, learning to pray is a process, a lifelong process, and adventure.
Thank you for being with us today as we hear our thoughts on prayer.